Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. We're out here in the shop getting ready to look at this Stihl MS250 I picked up off the garage sale site. Now I know a lot of you might be looking forward to some chainsaw carving videos, and we've been doing a lot of other stuff lately. I will have some carving videos coming up over the next couple weeks. I made an awesome deal with a guy for some black walnut. In return, he's going to get a couple really cool carvings, so we're going to do a time lapse for those. So keep an eye out for those videos. Hopefully they'll be within the next couple weeks. In the meantime, we're going to keep working on some different chainsaws I've been picking up, kind of giving some tips and just the process of getting them going or cleaning them up, getting them ready to carve or even resell. So again, today we're looking at the Stihl MS250. I did a little short on this, and I think I did a longer version about buying a used chainsaw, what to look for. This saw is pretty filthy. We're going to give it a wash before the end of the video, but right now I've got to get in and remove the bar. So this is out of my way. And we got to remove the filter, which we're going to replace, remove the spark plug, which we're going to replace. This saw, I've already fired it up once with fresh gas, so I'm not even going to touch the carburetor right now because it was running pretty good. Don't go anywhere because we're going to get into it. All right, guys, so this saw is filthy, and I'm going to throw on some gloves. All right, I know. Just do it bare hand. Listen, whatever. Okay, I'm going to throw on some gloves. Let's get rid of this bar. Now, I think I mentioned it in the last video, but I want to point out, actually, before I totally remove this bar, this has the absolute wrong chain. So the guy I bought it from said it was having issues cutting. He don't know. He's not messing with it. Well, he put the wrong chain on there. If you see, it doesn't seat here properly in the nose. And if you're not sure what it should look like, it should look like this in the nose. See how it's nice and flush? If you can see, that one is not. So the other thing I didn't quite mention in the beginning of this is we're also going to be turning this into a carving saw. This will be a backup carving saw for me, and I'll just show you the steps for that, and we'll discuss parts. So let's get through this here quick and start swapping out some stuff. Now I'm going to get in here, remove this air filter, which is easy enough. It pops on the side. These 250s give you some real easy access to things. This is pretty well worked over. I mean, you can still see a little bit of light through it, but not much. It's pretty much done. Got a new air filter right here. Before I put this on, though, let's get rid of this spark plug that's in here. All right, tight's tight. Pop our new filter on so nothing else falls down in that carb. Now, this area is a little dirty. We could probably pop this off and clean it. I'm not going to mess with that today, though. I might regret it. If that's the case, we'll do a carb cleaning video. But for now, no worries. Now, with those things in, no fresh dust going to get in there. I know those are clean. Let's do what I set out to do first, right? Let's get rid of this bar. Get it out of our way. Don't lose your nuts. Filthy. Filthy. All right. Now, like I said, I pulled the spring off that goes onto the spark plug. The MS250, this is all incorporated with the handle and all that. I don't want to mess with trying to take all that off. So what we're going to do is remove this cover. All right, we're going to do some time lapse. I'm going to clean this up really quick, and we'll turn it into a carving saw.
Hey guys, hope you're enjoying this video. Be sure to give me a thumbs up and hit subscribe. Check it out. I'm going to be starting a brand new YouTube channel. We're going to call it Chainsaw Rescue. We're going to be saving saws like this, carving with some, selling some. Be sure to keep an eye out for that in the near future. And hopefully you guys are enjoying this video today. Thanks for watching.
So after a quick little wash, we're going to reassemble everything. And we're looking to turning this into a carving saw. What we need to swap out, what I like to swap out, and how I like to run it. You gotta be careful if you're gonna clean any of this stuff yourself. You don't want to get stuff in the water in the air filter or in where your spark plug is. You don't want to get a ton of water in the exhaust. Some guys will take this saw fully apart, wash all the plastics, scrub everything down, put it back together, which is a really great way to not mess stuff up. Even in doing it like this a little bit, I put a nail in where the oiler hole is here, just something that just fits snug. That way there when I was blowing stuff out, I wouldn't get dirt in there, clogging up that oiler. I already know it works, so I didn't want to mess it up. You might not be able to do that on every model because some of those, that's a rubber hose right there where it comes out. You don't go in very deep and there's a rubber hose. In this model, I know there's not a rubber hose until like farther down. So you gotta be careful you don't puncture that. Now, what I want to do to turn this into a carving saw is I want to swap out the sprocket and the bar and chain. Now, this saw can come with a 325. A lot of times that's what it comes with, is like a 16 to an 18-inch bar running 325 pitch and 63 gauge chain. Let's see if we can see what bar this guy had on it when he sold it to me. So this is an 18-inch bar, 0.325 pitch, 63 gauge chain. And the one I just had in my hand was a 16-inch bar. We are going to size this down to a 16-inch bar that's going to run 3/8 pitch, 43 gauge chain. The chain's a lot smaller, but for chainsaw carving, it cuts faster. It gives you smoother lines when you're cutting, and I enjoy cutting with it. Now, in order to do that, you need to go get a different sprocket, especially if the saw has 0.325. If the saw already runs 3/8 pitch, you're good to go. But if you look and it runs 0.325, you got to go get a sprocket. And the numbers on that sprocket are 1123/03B Pico Z6. So it's a Z6 sprocket, okay? This is the sprocket that comes on an MS170 or an MS180. Now, I don't recommend this to everybody. If you're going to chainsaw carve and you want to do this upgrade, by all means, do it, and do it safely and be cautious, you know, because there's never any guarantees when you go through and you modify a unit. We are making a modification. This is not, you know, an OEM setup. Why? Because that's not how they want it ran. Otherwise, they would do it this way. As far as carving goes, sometimes we make modifications. We've learned from other people, and they work for the purposes that we need them to work. So keep in mind, just be safe, you know, be cautious, be careful. Just wiping out that old sprocket, looking at my new one. Now, when you pull that old sprocket off, I didn't even walk you guys through it, I'm so used to doing it. Got this snap ring, pop that off, don't lose it. That washer, it's concaved, don't lose it. Now, sometimes you may lose them. If you lose them, you got to order a set. You're going to have these needle bearings right here, okay? They need to be on the shaft. Then you're going to need to take your new sprocket or a sprocket off your 170. So if you take your 170, say you have a Stihl MS170, you're going to chainsaw carve, and you turn your Stihl MS170 into a carving detail saw dedicated to that, that means you're changing that sprocket to quarter pitch, and all your bar and chains are going to be like quarter pitch dime tip bar. So you'll have a sprocket from a 170 or a 180 available. Just keep it. You don't throw parts out. This fits right on the 250. So you got to get in here though, and you got to look for the little pin sticking out. It's inside, it's tough. It's where the oiler is. You got to look for the little notch in here. And you're going to have to line that up. And it'll seat in perfectly. Now that little pin sticks out just past the clutch. You'll see it behind the clutch, just barely sticking out. Little shiny tab. Got to line those up. Go ahead, put our washer on. Get our snap ring started. Grab some pliers. I usually use pliers and just pop it down. Be careful, because if it goes, it's gone. Good luck finding it. Now I've got this bar. It's been used. It's still got life in it, though. I dressed it. Took any edges off that I had. And this is still good to go. So we're going to rerun this bar. Actually, I've got to put this chain on as well. This chain still has some life in it. So we're going to run that. Now, new carver, maybe you're just a homeowner watching, you enjoy these videos. I know people will say, like, the bar's upside down. That is okay. Bars are meant to go right side up or upside down. And the reason is, it can be ran both ways. It allows you to get a longer life out of your bar. What works good is remembering what way you got to twist this to get that to come back to line up. Sometimes it's the dumbest things. It's the simple things. All right, got that on. Tighten this up just a little bit. Make sure my chain is staying in the underside of the bar here while I tighten this up just a little. I'm going to make that chain just snug. Take the chain cover, pop that on. Let's check our tension out. I don't run this I'll run it a little loose, but nothing too crazy. I don't like them super snug, and I don't like it, you know, super loose, especially when you've got a sprocket in the nose. A hard nose or a dime tip bar, you got to run those with a lot of slack, otherwise you burn your bar out really quick. A little snap, could be a little bit more loose, but that's all right. Might loosen up once I get running. Boom, boom. Cleaned up this saw, turned it into my next carving saw. Now the big thing is this saw gonna be able to make me some money? And I think in an upcoming video we're gonna use this on some carvings. Now I want you guys to know this is the marketplace saw, right? So I bought the saw for $120. I'm using a bar and chain that I had. We put a new air filter, new spark plug on it. I have already pulled the spark arrestor out. I cleaned it. I think I might have done that in the last video. I don't quite remember. And it's got fresh gas. So this guy is ready to go. And in the next video where I'm chainsaw carving, I will be using it, but I want you guys to be able to know, hey, that's the saw he was working on and not his other 250. So I think we're going to give this saw a name. Keep in mind, my other 250 has a sticker on it. It says Halls Furniture and Signs. But you know, I want to be honest with you guys. I want to be honest. I want to make sure you guys know I'm being honest with you, right? So we're going to give this saw a name. And I'm going to try to remember to refer to it as that name going forward so we can keep an eye on this garage sale saw. And I think we're going to call this saw, bear with me, we're going to call this saw Joe Dirt. Joe Dirt. Joe Dirt, the MS250. Alright guys, hope you guys have enjoyed the video. Be sure to give me a thumbs up, hit subscribe, hit that bell, hit all, turn on YouTube notifications so you guys don't miss future uploads. Let me know what you thought of this video, going through getting this saw ready to carve. I know we're not firing it up in this video. I get it, okay? Keep an eye out for a video short. We'll feature Joe Dirt, we'll do a cold start, and you guys will be able to watch the Joe Dirt saw fire up, okay? Again, turn on the notifications so you guys don't miss that upload. Appreciate you guys. Have an awesome week. See you in the next video. Bye.